Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Dan and Danny Talk Sports Podcast. I'm Dan Studer alongside my co-host, as always, Danny Gulix. Danny, how you doing this fine Wednesday evening?
I'm good, man. Had off of work today. Started a new job. So
Congratulations.
that's fun. That's entertaining. But no, I had off of work today. I've been preparing. As you can see, the splendid overlay that I made. If y'all are watching this later, we're currently live. So if you see me looking
I was
over,
gonna make a bigger deal about that, and you were just like, "Yeah, if you're watching live."
If you're watching later, we're currently live. We're probably gonna do this more often, just because why not?
It's a fun way to interact.
Exactly.
While making these.
So if you guys like watching them, you might like being in them live, and then we can talk to you, and that'd be cool. As you can see, our overlay, as it says, if you got questions, send them to any of the Twitter handles that are on the screen. We got some fun stuff coming up. Trade deadline was yesterday. We're going to talk all 11 trades. I have them written down. We're going to have some him report, and we're going to talk some NFL Week 9. So that'll be a very fun thing. But first, Studer, how are you doing?
Danny, I'm doing good. Not gonna lie, I forgot this was the episode in which we are going to be doing our pick'ems. So I'm gonna be kind of doing them off the top of my head. So yeah, my bad. But
no, I just don't
we'll
think
be
we're gonna
fine.
be able to.
We'll be fine. I do actually have. I haven't updated my 2022 record so far.
You have or have not?
I have.
Oh, me too. What's your current record?
Let me just pull it up really quickly. I want to say, Danny, I'm in at least the 70s, I think, in terms of wins, like corrects.
My current record is 66, 56, and 1. I had a very good week this week.
What was your record this week alone?
11 and 4.
Okay, so I finished one game back at 10 and 5.
Well, we disagreed on one game this week.
Right. That puts my 2022 record at 73, 42, and 1.
Okay, so I'm only 6 back. 73.
What was the one game that we disagreed on?
I believe it was
Jets and Patriots.
Jets Patriots, yes.
Yep.
Yes. I told you, Patriots have a good defense.
Yes, but don't forget, the Jets started out really strong that game, so that really could have gone either way for us.
That's very true. So do we want to start talking about just the trade deadline?
Get into that first. We can start deadline, and then we'll do him report, and then we'll cap it off
with some pick'ems.
Do we want to do pick'ems in this video, or be positive?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, because I just want to make sure that we'll have enough time for both pick'ems, him report,
we're
trade deadline, and fantasy talk.
There's only a few like big trades that we got to talk about.
Right.
And then a him report. I don't have any backups this week. I only have my actual dudes. So that'll take some time off.
All right.
First trade, nothing big. Bills acquire safety Dean Marlowe from the Falcons for a 7th rounder. Cool. Second one.
The Bills just continue to add to their already solid defense.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess they're just adding another body. We have a viewer. Hey, how you doing?
Hello. Obviously, the Bills being in a buy now mode.
Yeah, of course. Speaking of buy now mode, we're gonna get into the big ones in like 2 minutes. But we have a couple smaller ones that I want to talk about first. Falcons acquire cornerback Rashad Fenton from the Chiefs for a conditional 2023 7th. Nothing. Could turn into a 6th under certain circumstances, but whatever. This one, hey, Jason. Okay, it's my boy Jason. What's up, man? We're in the
wrong section.
We're gonna talk your Broncos in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are. Next.
Sorry for your loss, Jason.
Yeah. I mean, hey, not necessarily, but we'll get into it.
That's true.
Next one. This one's kind of big in my opinion. Bills get Nyheim Hines in return for Zach Moss and a conditional 2023 5th rounder.
Yeah, Danny, this just gives Buffalo a really good 1-2 punch in the running back position.
Yeah, I mean, they have Singletary. They moved Moss, who I like Moss. But they still have Singletary. They got a 5th back, or they gave up a 5th, and they got in Nyheim Hines, who I think is a very good running back. I think he has the potential to be a starting running back in the league. and he's a good receiving back. And on the Bills, on the Bills game plan, he's gonna be getting a lot of little checkdowns. Might be the new dump truck.
Well, we have to see. I mean, Josh Allen obviously running the ball a decent amount more than we have in previous seasons. I'll have to see how much they really rely on the check down, but who knows? Maybe this allows for less rushing attempts.
Yeah, I fully agree. I just think it's gonna help them out in the long run throughout the season. Next one, the Broncos acquired defensive end Jacob Martin and a 2024 fifth from the Jets for a 2024 fourth. So they just kind of gave him a fourth for a fifth and a defensive end. So, I mean, I guess it's depth. I don't know.
Right.
Well, they traded another edge player that we'll get into.
No way. Did they really?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. The next one that I've written down is the Dolphins acquired Jeff Wilson from the 49ers for a 2023 fifth. After the move that they made, moving Chase Edmonds. I think this is going to help them out a ton, especially because Raheem Mostert is, an injury-riddled man. But I do like Jeff Wilson. He showed that he is very solid. And he played good for the Niners in the games where he was, actually the running back.
Right. Obviously, he's now reunited with Raheem Mostert, too, so that's cool.
Yeah. Next one. Jaguars. This is a big one.
This was a very,
strange.
Yeah.
It seemed like, I don't know, the betting odds on Calvin Ridley going to the Jaguars were probably really low.
I don't think he would have bet on those odds.
Nah, probably not. Apparently somebody named Not Ridley 18 bet that he would go to the Jaguars about 2 hours before he actually went there. They made a lot of money. I guarantee it wasn't him, though. But Calvin Ridley goes to the Jags for a conditional 2023 fifth and a conditional 2024 second. It's weird the way that the picks figure themselves out. That's what got me about it.
Right, and this just seems really weird because this isn't like Calvin Ridley is coming back this season at all. Like, this isn't. It's not like DeAndre Hopkins where he was only a 6-game suspension, or the guy from Cleveland, we won't say his name because
Disgusting.
Him getting 11 games. Either way, he will be back at some point this season. So it's not even like Ridley is coming back at all. So it's a really interesting trade. The Jaguars are one of a few teams that are in doing better than we anticipated. So they're not necessarily in buy, but they're not necessarily selling either. So they're just kind of looking to add a piece here or there to kind of see how it plays out next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the acquisition of Christian Kirk helped them a ton this season to overcome whatever odds that people were putting against them. I mean, Christian Kirk has been very good. He's been one of the better receivers in the league throughout the season. He's definitely slowed down since the start of the year, but I mean, he's still been not necessarily living up to the money that they paid him because
slowed down and stopped short at the 1-yard line by the Giants defense. I was so nervous, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing much more to talk about this trade. Calvin Ridley is still a very good receiver. You just got to let him play football. That's it. Just wait for him to come back.
We'll have to see how he can do, though, coming off of not playing for a whole season.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
The difference, though, is that it's not like he's missing a year with an injury, so I'm sure that he's still,
he's
staying active and working out. It's not like he's coming off of missing a year with an ACL, tear or, another injury similar to that.
Yeah. Next trade, this one is for you, Jason. The Dolphins acquire Bradley Chubb and a 2025 fifth-round pick from the Broncos, who in turn get Chase Edmonds, a 2023 first via the 49ers, and a 2024 fourth. This was one of the bigger trades of the day. Bradley Chubb is very good, has not lived up to his expectations yet in his career, but he's still very young, has been a good edge threat throughout his career. Jason is upset. I would be too. I like Bradley Chubb. I think you got a good pick. You got a first rounder out of the deal. It's a 49ers first rounder, so who knows how good it's going to be.
But Danny, quick question for you. You probably said it and I probably missed it. Is that first round for this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's a good, I think it's a good draft to have a first rounder in. At least from what I've done very little draft research this year, But the Broncos are in desperate need of these picks, man, because they are not good right now, and they traded a lot of stuff to get Russell Wilson. So I think it was a very good move, not necessarily lateral. Jason saying that the pick's going to be early 20s. I can see that. I can see that. The Niners did go all in though, so if they make the Super Bowl, you're getting pick 32. But I like the move. I like the move for both sides.
Wait, not gonna lie, does Miami sends Denver 2023 first round? I thought, I'm sorry, I was very Broncos country. Let's cry. I was very confused for a second because didn't
That's
Miami's first round, like their own first round for this upcoming draft, get revoked?
Yes.
Okay, so that was like you just said, it was San Francisco's. I'm sorry, so I just got a little confused there for a second.
Yes.
I apologize.
I think what's crazy is it overall the Trey Lance trade for the Dolphins because
Massive W. Oh my god, massive
W. They traded Trey Lance, and in turn they got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb. That's insane.
We see the absolute. There might not be a better 1-2 punch in the league than Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
100%. I'll talk about it more later. I mean,
I think they, I don't know if this is what you're gonna go, but I'm gonna bring it up now because no. We'll talk about it later.
I think we both are gonna talk about the same.
Is it a stat?
No, it's not a stat. You can bring it up. You want to say it, or you want to save it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it exactly, but I'm pretty sure that Hill and Waddle have the most combined yardage through 8 weeks, in history of like first year teammates.
That's kind of crazy, dude. That actually is kind of crazy. I mean, I love Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle coming out of the draft. I think he's very good. But yeah, nothing else to say about that trade. We'll take a little chiller with the next one. Steelers acquire cornerback William Jackson III and a conditional 2025 7th from the Commanders, who in turn get a conditional 2025 6th. Cool, I guess. Yeah, Jason says, I thought Jerry was going to go too. Jerry did request a trade. I'm surprised he did not get traded.
We'll talk about all the players that didn't get traded at the end.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I can think of at least like 3 people right now off the top of my head.
Same. But I like William Jackson. He's been bad this year. He has. I'll be the first person to admit it. But I just feel like he hasn't been putting forth effort because he didn't want to be in Washington. Now he's on the Steelers. Let's see how it goes. Last year we made a move for a corner at the deadline, and his name was Akella Witherspoon. And he was our best corner last year, and he's horrible this year. So let's see if William Jackson can be our best corner this year.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes a change of scenery can really, make a difference. I won't lie, I haven't seen something like that in football, but I think, about it a lot in baseball, and, how it worked out and how it didn't work out for, members of the Yankees. It worked out for I think Chuck Knobloch, the Yankees acquired him from the Oakland Athletics in the late 90s, and he obviously was a big part of that dynasty, 96, 98, 99. But obviously, then you got guys like Joey Gallo and Sonny Gray who were top, players and stunk it up in New York. So who knows, Danny? Maybe this change of scenery can really make a difference.
Yeah. Next move. Now, see, this is where it gets juicy. These are the top 3 trades of the day. Not necessarily. I'm a little biased, but shut up.
No. I think that this is. I know what you're talking about now when you say that. Obviously, considering we haven't talked about this trade yet, I don't think that's biased. I think it's a pretty big trade. It's a big name. He's a solid wide receiver.
Bears acquire wide receiver Chase Claypool, Mapletron, from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then in turn, the Steelers get the Bears' second-round pick this year, 2023 second-rounder via the Bears. That's a huge deal. I remember I pulled up the screenshot from one of my fantasy chats because, Matt, he's a Bears fan. I've been saying it all year. I want the Steelers to get Roquan Smith. I think this, the Bears like Chase Claypool. I think that we can trade Chase Claypool and day 2 pick. I would have been so happy if we traded Chase and a second for Roquan Smith. I would have been happy. Chase and a second or a third for Roquan. He kept calling me delusional, saying it's stupid. Overall, The Bears got Chase Claypool and a 5th for Roquan Smith. I'm not delusional. I literally called the trade, except we didn't get Roquan. So
Right.
I'm a little sad. I like the deal. We needed to move one of the receivers. I would have been fine if it was Deontay. I would have been fine if it was Chase, as long as we keep George Pickens. I think Mike Tomlin misheard us when we said get rid of Canada, get rid of Canada. And then he said, yeah, let's get rid of the Canadian.
The
And,
Canadian.
but yeah, we got insane value. I don't know why the Bears would trade their own second-round pick. If anything, if we got the Ravens second-round pick back, that would have been cool too. I would have been happy with a third. But hey, I'm very content with this deal. I think Justin Fields will be too.
But what are the Bears doing? The Bears were such a confusing team at this deadline.
Yeah.
What did they? Was it just? It was another name besides Roquan Smith that they traded away, right?
They traded Robert Quinn to the Eagles.
Right. So.
But Robert Quinn.
Right. I forget
Quinn,
if we talked about that.
One.
Yeah,
Robert
because
Quinn's
the Giants now have to play him 2 more times. Right.
Yes.
So you trade away 2 big names, yet you trade for one. The Bears are a team that needs to be selling. They need to be getting more draft picks. I'm very surprised that they'd give up a second for Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I don't know. See, what's crazy is they'd give up a second for Chase Claypool, but they didn't use a second on George Pickens, and that's kind of wild. But Roquan was very adamant about saying that he did not want to be in Chicago anymore, and he is a free agent coming up, so cool. And Robert Quinn is older, and he also didn't want to be in Chicago anymore because he's older, he's very good, he wants to win. Like, I would have been very content if we traded Cam Hayward for a good pick this deadline, just because he's very good. He's an older player. I don't think that we're going to be contending anytime soon to fit his timeline, and he deserves to win.
And, I feel bad for Danny. I'm probably going to botch his name. The head coach for the Bears, Eberflus or something like that.
No clue.
I feel bad for him almost. It feels like the Bears have really kind of like fell on their face this season. They were able to pull out that one win against San Fran in week 1, but the rain played a big impact in that game, and then they beat the Commanders in week 6, week 7. Chase announced George Pickens' draft pick and drafted his own replacement.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry. It's not even like his fault. Like, this is just, these players had crap year after crap year under Nagy, and, everybody now is, or I might not even be pronouncing his name right. It was a long day at work.
Same thing. Nagy.
Yeah. So, I just, the Bears are going to be one tough organization to fix.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. But good thing we don't have to talk about them for a while. Next. Yeah, we're already on it. Ravens acquire Roquan Smith for linebacker AJ Klein, the Ravens 2023 second and 5th. That's a big trade. That's the biggest trade of the deadline.
Chicago actually did get a solid return, I believe.
They did. They got a solid return on Roquan. And then their biggest piece of that return, they gave up for Chase Claypool. How you done? I wish they just gave Roquan to the Steelers. Because now the Steelers have to play. Oh, breaking news.
Joe Shane on WFAN. This is per Giants Daily, NYG Daily on Twitter. Joe Shane on WFAN says that the Giants have been in contact with Odell Beckham Jr.'s reps. Tiki, I'm assuming Tiki Barber, adds that OBJ was at the Jaguars game and reached out to John Mara.
Told you.
And that's big for something. We'll talk about it later because it's gonna be connected with players that weren't traded.
Yeah, and last but not least, this is a very big deal. Interdivisional trading is back, baby. Vikings acquire tight end TJ Hawkinson, a 2023 4th and a conditional 2024 4th for a second and a 4th. For a 2023 second and 2024 4th. You're trading your best offensive player to your division rival whose tight end just went on IR. That's kind of wild.
I mean, definitely one of the best. I mean, I know he's not playing right now, but at the end of the day, the Lions do still have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And DeAndre Swift. So, but TJ Hawkinson is very good. I think he's going to be very good in the Vikings scheme.
I'm very excited.
He's slowly been looking more and more like a Viking throughout his whole career, so it just kind of works. But we love ourselves some Hawk.
Now that I'm Kirk Cousins' biggest fan, I'm excited
Yeah,
in terms of fantasy. He'll definitely be getting a lot more starts.
I'm happy that you came around.
I mean, it was this past offseason when I really looked at his stats. He was top 10 in a lot of stats, touchdowns, passing yards,
Yeah,
top 10 in least amount of sacks.
yeah, he's a good quarterback. So you want to get into the players that weren't traded?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna take the pin out of what I just read about the Giants talking to Odell. Irv Smith is out 8 to 10 weeks, so Hawkinson was a good move. Yeah, absolutely, Jason. I mean, we're looking at Irv Smith not being back. See, we're about to head into week 8. I'm sorry, excuse me, week 9. So
not being back till playoffs.
Right, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Who even knows how even when he comes back, who knows how many touches he'll be getting. They might
Exactly.
prioritize Hawkinson unless, of course, he can't play in Minnesota. Obviously location is a big thing. Not everybody can do the change. I mean, in terms of climate though, it's not like Minnesota and Michigan are too different from each other, but I don't know, atmosphere is a big thing.
Yeah.
You
want to get back into who the Giants did not trade?
Yeah, so some big name wide receivers that didn't get dealt. No DJ Moore trade. No Brandon Cooks trade. He was seemed upset about that.
No Jerry Jeudy.
Jason, no Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy trade. Thank you.
There you go.
I got there eventually.
You did.
I mean, also you want to talk about the Broncos? No KJ Hamler trade.
Yeah.
The Browns, no Kareem Hunt move. The Browns wanted a fourth.
They couldn't
even get a fourth for Kareem Hunt.
I can't believe that. That's actually wild. There was another guy that was supposed to get traded. Oh, I forget. It was another running back that was supposed to get dealt. I don't know. I don't want to stick on it for too long.
Right. Obviously, I mean, his name is in rumors, but obviously Saquon Barkley didn't go anywhere. He wasn't going to be going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it was the most active trade deadline of all time. We had 11 trades go down on trade deadline day. Most ever.
It's weird, like the difference between baseball and football's
basketball
trade deadline. Because I feel like with baseball, there's a lot. Kareem Hunt as well, and I thought the Broncos were going to get Hunt, but then we traded for Chase Edmonds.
Not too big of a drop off between the two, in my opinion. I like Kareem Hunt a lot. I just don't think he's very good. So yeah, that's probably it. But for the trade deadline, do we want to get into the him report? Or do you have anything else you want to say?
I'm trying to think. I mean, yeah. So I mean, the Giants talking with Odell. Oh well, I mean, let's just let me talk about the Giants not making a trade. I feel like I'm fine with it.
You need a receiver, man.
Danny, the Giants are 6-2 with barely any receivers.
Yeah, so you have a receiver, and then you're Super Bowl contenders.
But
I think the Giants should have moved for Brandon
Cooks. Might not be what Joe Shane and Brian Daboll have in mind. Maybe they don't necessarily want to. Now, I'm not saying they're going to tank, but I'm not saying that. I don't think they're aiming to be like a 12-5 team.
I think at this point they have to be.
I mean, maybe that's just me talking about being worried about overperforming, because I'd hate to have them perform well. I know we talked about it in the last episode, but I'm going to bring it up again. I'd hate to have them perform well, not get, this great draft pick in the first round of this upcoming draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows then? There's more opportunity for trade and for, them to be able to get a receiver. But, the Giants made it as far as they did with Sterling Shepard, Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney. Obviously, all three of those guys right now aren't even playing. Richie James. Let's talk about Richie James really quickly.
Richie James, yeah.
Richie James is on cut alert instead of him watch or him alert. Richie James is on cut watch. You cannot fumble 2 punt returns when your job is special teams. Now, he does a lot, too, as a wide receiver. Bro. You are the special teams return. You cannot. What has Golladay done for the Giants since he was signed? Jason, you're kind of adding to my point here. Exactly. Golladay, we're paying him $70 million to ride the pine and be injured. So the fact that the Giants have done the Giants have done as well as they have without him. Danny, we talked. I think it was after week 2 or week 3. He didn't talk to the media after he didn't really play all game. He played like 2 snaps and then got benched for the rest of the game. And he kind of had a poor attitude, not talking to the media. He should have been a man and face the music. But there's a clip of him during an interview the other day where he was talking about how he just wants to get back. Like, he's never been part of a 10-win team. Makes sense considering he was on Detroit. He just wants to be part of a 10-win team. And honestly, that's the attitude that the Giants needed out of Kenny Golladay. He's got to be able to, step up with the performance, though. He had a rough preseason, dropping passes that were designed specifically for him. But look, hey, I mean, who knows? In a perfect world, the Giants sign Odell and he's good. Kenny Golladay comes back from injury and he really turns it around. We get more out of David Sills. We see a lot more now out of Tanner Hudson with Daniel Bellinger down. And even the Giants not trading for a tight end doesn't necessarily surprise me. I'm not going to lie. The bias in me would have loved to have signed Mike Gesicki, especially that the room was there after trading away Tony. It doesn't surprise me, though, that technically, if you want Danny, that's another player that you can say that didn't get traded. He wasn't necessarily on the block, but Gesicki at first, Coach McDaniel, Cam Akers wasn't traded, and Brian Burns. Jason, I'll get to that in just a second. Let me just finish my point on Gesicki. He really wasn't part of Miami's offensive fit and their offensive scheme. All of a sudden, though, the last 2-3 weeks, they finally realized how good of a tight end he is. He's been getting a lot more targets, a lot more receptions, more yards, more touchdowns.
You know what it is?
What's up?
Tua's back. That's what it is.
You can't blame. Well, no, because I mean,
no. I'm not blaming him being good on Tua back. I'm blaming him getting his targets on Tua being back. Mike Gesicki's been good since he's been in the league, and he's been getting consistent targets every year except this one. Tua goes down and he stops getting targets, and then Tua comes back and he magically starts getting targets.
He wasn't really getting a lot of targets prior to Tua's injury anyways, and I think it's just because of the offense that was brought in with the new, head coach in Miami. So it's not necessarily anything against, Gesicki.
Tua greater than Herbert this season, definitely.
Probably. Jason, this season, I don't know.
I think you had it right, Jason. Jason, I think you had it correct, man. He's been better this season.
Gesicki not being traded, doesn't necessarily surprise me, but it's just a person that was a name in, trade packages that people were making for Roquan Smith. So, but yeah, Cam Akers,
I'm
Jason,
not surprised.
Then there was also a report saying that the Rams want him back.
He's not going to play for them, bro. I don't know what it is with running backs in LA, but they just don't work. Not for the Rams. They haven't worked since Todd Gurley. It's just not a thing. Brian Burns is more of a confusing one to me because the Panthers got offered 2 second-round picks or 2 first-round picks.
And this wasn't like Akers not getting moved because the Rams couldn't get any offers. The Rams were turning down offers because they want him to play again.
Yeah, but I doubt he does. Not for them. Kyron Williams, better. All right. I think that's
another thing of breaking news, Danny. I'm sorry. From ESPN, police announced that a 17-year-old male has been arrested in relation to August shooting of Commanders Brian Robinson Jr.
W.
I still love the fact. What is it that B-Rob was shot and came back faster than
Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
Michael Thomas got a toe injury, man. That's it. All right, let's get into the him report.
I'm him.
Danny, did it feel good to do that?
It did.
I can tell.
It felt so good. We've been talking about making that literally since week 2 when that happened.
I'm very excited that we finally got to do it.
Me too. Let's I know it's not a Studer, but common transition W. I know it wasn't you, but still.
I'll take credit for it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't care. Your problems aren't mine. Go Yankees.
Go.
Get wrecked.
Too soon.
So
Go Phillies.
Go Phillies, baby. So for the him watch, I can hear myself echoing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there we go. That's better.
Do you still hear it? Do it again.
Talking. Yes.
You hear it? No. Hold on.
I don't know what happens. Like because it would like pop in, pop out.
Can you hear it now?
No.
Okay.
Was that just too loud on your computer?
No, my laptop might have been. I could not tell you where my AirPods are right now. So the audio is coming out of my laptop. It's probably just going straight from the laptop to the microphone. So I apologize. Am I too
That's
loud
fine.
now? Do I sound good?
Nice, I'm fine.
Okay, because I moved the mic a little closer.
You're cool.
Let me know when you hear that again.
Word. So for my him watch this week, like I said before, I only have one for each. I don't have backups. I wasn't able to watch a lot of football this week, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. My him watch is Tony Pollard. I've been on him since like last season. I think Tony Pollard's a better back than Ezekiel Elliott is. Tony Pollard this week had 14 carries for 131 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. He said something along the lines of "You call and I'll haul" before the game. You call it, I'll haul it, and they called it. He hauled it straight to the end zone 3 times. I think he has the potential to be a very good back in the league. A very good back.
What do you see Dallas doing in the future? I want to look up Ezekiel Elliott's contract really quickly.
Yeah, I think they move on from Zeke, and I don't think it's too far in the future. Yes, see, Jason agrees. Pollard greater than Zeke. Man, this man knows ball. This man knows ball.
Zeke is currently on a 6-year, $90 million.
What year is he in? Yeah, Jason said it. I think it was 6 years. I think they move on from him, and I don't think it's too far in the future in which they do move on from him. Zeke's just not a good back anymore. I mean, he's been decent this year. He's been able to find the end zone, but just he's not Ezekiel Elliott anymore. And I think Tony Pollard has to be the starter sooner rather than later.
So, Danny, after this season, there's a potential out in 2023.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure he might have a no trade clause.
Ooh. Oh, we didn't intro the him report. Damn, we're rusty. I'm rusty. So the him report, it's like a weather report. A him watch is they can be him. They have the chance. Give them the opportunity. You can see it. The him alert is they will be him. Just give them a few more games. Give them a few more opportunities. They will. Not the opportunity or not the chance. It's gonna happen. And then last year is they are him. That self-explanatory. Like Stephon Diggs said, he's him. He's him.
The only thing that I'm wondering, it doesn't really make sense here on Sport Track. I don't know if that potential out in 2022, I don't know if that's player option or a club option. I want to assume that that's player option, and I don't know if I necessarily see Zeke leaving Dallas.
Yeah, that's fair. Who do you got as your him watch?
Danny, my him watch goes to a man that's on my taxi squad, a tight end, Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely, I like that one.
Mark Andrews goes down against the Buccaneers, and Likely really steps up. 6 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
I like Isaiah Likely. I liked him before the season. I was upset that you drafted him before me. I hate you.
Lamar really likes his tight ends.
Lamar does like his tight ends. I'm a big Isaiah Likely fan. I wanted him in a bunch of my leagues, and I'm happy that he's starting to pick it up.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously, this is the biggest game that we've seen through him of his career, which is why it's only, a watch, because we'll have to see if he can continue. We'll have to see what happens when Mark Andrews comes back. Who knows? I mean, I don't know how bad Andrews' injury was.
I don't think it was that severe.
Right. So who knows? Maybe the Ravens now try to look for a 2 tight end kind of option.
Which would be, hey, I think that'd be a good idea for them. I mean, you got 2 good tight ends. You got to at least try to use them.
Absolutely.
Next on my him alert, this one should go without saying. He's back. He's not necessarily better than ever, but he looks healthy. His name is Tua Tagovailoa.
I was actually thinking about putting Tua here, but I went with somebody else.
Tua this week, 382 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Tua has shown so much improvement this year, and he just looks like he's getting better and better, and that's surprising considering how much time he was off the field. Like, I'm very happy he didn't take a step back. I'm very happy that I was wrong about Tua Tagovailoa. I will say it every time. I was wrong.
Honestly, Danny, at this point in the season, I wouldn't even put him on Himmler. I think there's a chance that he's him this season.
I do think that give him a couple more games. Give him a couple more games.
He's already had what, 6?
I don't think he's played 6. I mean, I was worried about the injury. Like, he definitely was in the him category before the injury. I like Tua though. I'm a fan. Who do you got as your him alert, my boy?
My him alert, Danny. As I just really quickly, I just want to see how many, because I'm interested now as to how many games Tua has played.
Check that out for me.
He started 6.
So he's
obviously
4?
only leaving against the Bengals. Yeah, he had the. I'm sorry, not against the. Yeah, against the Bengals. That was when he had that 4-game stretch, missed 2 games, and then has played the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
My him alert, Danny, is a player that started the season on the IL.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess?
Nah, just.
Would you like me to give you the position?
Give me the position.
Tight end. That's right.
2 tight ends.
Yep.
He started on the IR.
Yes.
And he had a good week this week?
Yes.
I have no clue. Was it Greg?
Is it
Greg Dulcich?
It is Greg Dulcich.
Let's go.
Dulcich missed the first. Jason Kittle was a good guess.
Jason's gonna be very happy. He's a Broncos fan.
Dulcich missed the first, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
and has had a really good last 3 weeks. I won't lie, he started off slow against Jacksonville, but eventually he got more. He had only had 5 targets, but he went 4 for 5, 87 yards, no touchdown though, which is fine. Like, this dude has put up double-digit points in fantasy the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's been very good. I do like me some Dulcich though. I think he's right now what Albert Okwuegbunam was supposed to be right now. And that makes me sad because I took Albert Okwuegbunam in a couple fantasy leagues and it's biting me in the ass.
Jason, is Denver on the bye week after playing in London?
Yeah. Let me see. Yes, they are.
All right.
All right. I actually do have 2 hymns. I thought about one after.
Should I do mine first? Because I have a feeling that we could have the same person.
Yes.
So I'll do mine and then
go for it.
Okay, hold on. Let me just pull up this game if I could find it. What the hell? There we go. Hold on.
Go for
it. Danny, he's him. AJ Brown. 6 receptions on 10 targets, 156 yards. Averaging, that's 26 yards per reception with 3 touchdowns. Man had a hat trick.
I'm going to stand up. You guys I'm going to give you a little show. This is what he did. Caught the ball in the end zone over 2 defenders. He stood there and then walked away.
Danny, while you're standing up, you might want to
No.
All hail AJ Brown.
Yes, AJ Brown was my him. AJ Brown was my original him. AJ Brown is such a good receiver. I can't believe that the Titans moved on from him to take a receiver whose ceiling is AJ Brown. That was the dumbest trade. Treylon Burks. I mean, I like Treylon Burks, but literally his NFL comp was AJ Brown. You traded AJ Brown first. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. There's no point. My other one is Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey had a passing, a receiving, and a rushing touchdown this week. First player to do it since 2005.
What? Hold on.
Yes.
Am I stupid? Did
Yes.
I see somewhere that the person to do that was who? Do you remember who the last person to do it was?
I don't.
Why is the name, for some reason, why is LaDainian Tomlinson coming to mind?
That would make sense. I can check StatMuse right now. Actually, I mean, I can check unnamed website that doesn't sponsor us.
Both like searching it right now.
Yeah.
LaDainian Tomlinson was the last player with rushing, passing, and receiving touchdowns in the same game, doing it for San Diego back in 2005.
I searched players to rush, pass, and receive a touchdown in the same game, and Brandon Bolden has 0 rushing touchdowns this season. Thanks.
I hate the NFL says all I gotta say is Mahomes likes Kadarius Toney, so I gotta like him too.
I agree. I think that
Look,
Kadarius Toney did very good for the Chiefs. We talked
Kadarius
about it on the
Toney,
last episode, so we're not going to really get into it right now. But I think Kadarius Toney is going to be very good for the Chiefs.
he could absolutely be very good for the Chiefs, but look, at the end of the day, it wasn't Joe Shane's pick.
Yeah, but still, you wasted a first.
Wait, he didn't.
Still, you kind of ate it, and I think that you should have waited. But whatever. What's he gonna do with that New York skyline tattoo he's got on his back?
Oh man, I can't
don't
believe
know.
he's wearing 19 when nobody on the Chiefs is 89.
I don't know. He stole Juju's number. I don't have my Juju picture up. All right. I think that's the end of the him report. We have a ticker, bro. I didn't put it on.
Danny, speaking of Steelers players doing or I shouldn't have said Steelers players. Speaking of players in this Steelers Eagles game doing hand motions, how about what was it? 1st and 10, Najee gets 2 yards and goes first down. What?
I don't want to talk about Najee right now. I don't.
Najee's had a really good first couple of games. By that, I quite literally mean 2 games. Couple. He really hasn't looked that great since.
So here's my thing. Here's my thing with Naj.
What's your thing with Naj? Tell me, Danny.
I love me some Naj. I do.
Oh, I love me some Najee too.
Of course.
Built by Bama.
Roll Tide. Steelers Nation. Here we go. But the Steelers fans that are calling Najee a bust can politely, in the nicest way possible, never talk to me again. Yes, Jason, that's correct. Has he been trash all year? Yes. He's dealing with a foot injury, a Lisfranc injury.
I was going to say, he's been trash since week 3. He had a good week 1-2 performance.
He had an But also, he's running behind no offensive line. Yes, they give him holes sometimes, of course. Do you expect him to think that he's going to have a hole when he doesn't 99% of the plays? No. Yes, Jason, he was great last year. Najee was amazing last year. But I mean, he's going to be last in yards per carry when he's first in, like, he gets hit behind the line the fastest in the league, the most in the league, the furthest behind the line in the league. Out of any running back, it's him. So yes, he's going to have the very low yards per carry. I don't understand people calling him a bust. It's his second year. Let him be a running back. Just chill. Let him heal. I'd be cool with letting him sit and let Jalen Warren get some run. Jalen Warren's been very good. Explosive back. Najee's not explosive. We didn't draft him to be explosive. We drafted him to break tackles and be a big back. And that's what he does. That's what he does. There's a clip going around of him like getting, it's like a 4th and 3 or a 3rd and 2 or something like that. It was short sticks. We needed a first down. They passed to Najee on the line of scrimmage. There's no players within like 5 yards of him, and he gained no yards because he did like a little stutter step. And that's why Steelers fans turned on Le'Veon Bell. And I don't want that to happen with Najee because Le'Veon Bell was still good when he left the Steelers. We got torched by him when we played the Jets. That was my first ever NFL game. But yeah, that's my thing. That's my qualms.
Yeah, I think everybody's got to kind of cool it with calling him a bust. That's the most ridiculous thing I've seen.
Yes. You want me to cool off and we can get into our pick'ems?
Yeah, let's do that.
Did you do yours, or are you gonna do them on the fly with me?
I did not, but I could probably do them on the fly.
There's some easy ones that we can get into. I got them pulled up on my phone. Week 9.
Danny, we start off with the World Series equivalent, Philadelphia versus Houston.
Yes, actually, that's actually really cool.
That's really cool. I wonder if that has ever happened before.
I have no clue, but I think that'd be something cool that we would never find out through Google because hell. Eagles versus Texans. Eagles. Cool. They're the
Eagles
best
here
team
are
in the.
favored by 14.
They should be. If the Texans cover that spread, I'd be surprised.
Danny, I would bet Texans plus 14.
Of course, it's a plus 14. I mean, the odds that they don't cover is low. Who are you taking here though? Not the spread. The team.
I would bet on the Texans for the spread, but I'm going to bet on the Eagles for the win.
Fair enough. Next game, Colts versus Patriots. I'm taking the Patriots. The Colts just have not looked good this year. Jonathan Taylor might be the worst consensus number 1 fantasy pick of all time. I apologize. I'm sorry. I asked to trade for him a couple times and you told me no. You want Nick Chubb?
I hate it here.
Do you want Nick Chubb?
You want Nick Chubb for Taylor?
You want Nick Chubb for Taylor straight up? Yeah. I'm taking the Patriots. Their defense has just been stifling. Devin McCourty had 2 picks last week. Sorry, excuse me. I'm a little all over the place right now. But yeah, I'm taking the Patriots. Who are you taking?
The Indianapolis Colts with rookie quarterback. Second year quarterback. But
Sam Ehlinger?
finally playing Sam Ehlinger against who even knows who's going to be the quarterback in that game.
Me at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to go New England here.
Another week of us agreeing on every game?
Who knows? Dude, we're 2 games in.
I think we're going to disagree on this game. Packers versus Lions. I'm taking the Lions, baby. Let's roll Detroit. They don't have TJ Hawkinson anymore, which sucks, but hopefully Among Us St. Brown can be healthy. And DeAndre Swift should be back to almost a full workload this week. I know Dan Campbell said that he was not ready last week, and they still gave him. Dan Campbell said they gave him 1 too many carries. So I know he didn't practice today, but it should just be something that they're just being careful with, and I'm going to take Detroit.
This is tough. Part of me actually kind of wants to say Green Bay here.
Okay.
But Green Bay has also been very disappointing.
I agree.
I don't know if Alan Lazard is playing in this game.
Let me check.
If Lazard plays, might have to go Green Bay.
Okay, so are we doing the thing?
What thing? We have until kickoff?
Yeah. Are you gonna go with Packers for the pod, and then if Lazard doesn't play, you're going with the Lions?
I'll say Packers right now, but I'll make a final decision regardless whether or not Lazard plays.
Fair enough. Next game we got on the schedule, Chargers versus Falcons. This is gonna be a good game. 2 teams that run the ball a ton. 2 teams, or 1 team that is kind of overperformed. 1 team that is definitely underperformed. I'm going to take the Chargers. I think Herbert is going to have his game of the season this week. The Falcons have a good defense. Also, if you guys have Kyle Pitts in fantasy, you're welcome. I benched him this week, and he had his best game of the season. And I benched him the other time he scored a touchdown too. So I'll just keep benching him. So I'm going to take the Chargers. I think it's going to be a fun game, though. Cordell Patterson is actually supposed to come back from IR this week. Or next week. One of the 2.
The Chargers have been tricky. The Chargers are a team that just lost, along with the Giants, just lost Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons coming off of a bye too, if my memory serves me correctly. They must have, because their most recent game was against Seattle, but the Giants just played Seattle last week, so they must have had a bye week in between.
The Falcons?
No, the Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers. Excuse me. I thought you were talking about the Falcons. I was like, nah.
Did I say the Falcons? I meant to say the Chargers, but the Falcons have been too. They beat San Francisco, but they lose to Cincinnati, and they beat Carolina in overtime, which, oh man, DJ Moore.
Yeah. DJ Moore is a man amongst boys.
I'm sorry, Danny. I'm gonna go with the safer option here. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
No fun. I'm kidding. Next, Vikings versus Commanders. The Commanders just disappoint me week after week, bar after bar. They disappoint me. The Vikings just upgraded their team. They got a new tight end, a better tight end. I'm taking the Vikings. They've just been good all year, man. And the Commanders have not.
Yeah, as happy as I am that the Commanders won last week, putting every team at the NFC East at 500 or better, I'm going to go Minnesota here.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm excited to see how Hawk is going to do in his first game as a Viking. The Commanders still without Jahan Dotson, I believe.
Yeah. I traded for him in our fantasy league. In our dynasty.
I saw that. That dude's been traded like 4 times.
Yeah.
Now, I kind of want to trade for him.
Talk to me, baby.
All right.
Next.
Yeah, I mean, Danny, I also saw a stat. Justin Jefferson hasn't had a receiving touchdown since like week 1. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, Justin Jefferson, he's been very good. He's been very good, but he just has not found the end zone. Next game, Panthers versus Bengals. This would have been Baker Mayfield versus the AFC North. Too bad he got benched for the XFL MVP, PJ Walker.
PJ Walker. I mean, PJ Walker just had an absolute shot at the end of that game.
PJ Walker has been good. Like, when he's given the opportunity, he's been good. I like him. But I'm going the Bengals. I'm sorry. Just, they made the Super Bowl last year. They've been clicking on all cylinders these past couple of weeks. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase have picked it up. I'm going with the Bengals. Yeah,
I think Cincinnati just had a rough game against Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Cincy here. Danny, I've got something to tell you.
I got something to listen to.
Speaking of the Bengals, guess who I will be meeting soon?
Who will you be meeting soon?
I'll get to meet former Cincinnati Bengal and New York Jet quarterback Boomer Esiason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my parents were at my dad and my stepmom were at an event over the weekend, last weekend, and they won like this silent auction. It was like a signed Boomer Esiason football, and then along with came with a meet and greet of him and Gio, of Boomer and Gio in the morning.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
That's actually really cool. That's actually really cool. Tell me how that goes. That's sick.
We'll do.
Next, the worst game of the week: Raiders versus Jaguars.
How much longer until Vegas fires their head coach?
It should have happened already. You don't know how to use Devontae Adams? Huh? I'm going the Raiders though. They're just better than the Jaguars, I guess. I mean, both teams are horrible. It's gonna be. Remember when I predicted the tie with the Bears and somebody else?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, but the Raiders are better than the Saints too. And he's got shut out 24-0.
It's true.
I want to see because
I'm sticking with them though.
I remember being very upset. Okay, the Raiders are averaging about 25 points allowed per game, and it's very funny because I remember being very upset that Patrick Graham left the Giants to go to the Raiders to be their same position, defensive coordinator. But I'm now glad that happened.
Yeah.
Now that the Giants have Wink Martindale.
Yeah. I mean,
Jaguars home for this game.
Duval.
They get favored by 1.5. But I'm going to go Vegas.
All right, then I'm fading. I'm going Jags. I was going to fade whatever you said.
I wanted to pick Jacksonville too. I won't even lie.
I faded.
But you know what? Jacksonville has not been able to show up in the second half.
Facts. And let me talk you into him. Trevor Lawrence, second-year quarterback, putting it all out there. Christian Kirk, bounce back game. So the next game.
If you want to talk about a bounce back game, Josh Jacobs is like primed for a bounce back game.
Whatever. You made me take the Jaguars.
It would also be nice if Darren Waller can actually show up for once.
I just doubt he can. He's been like hurt all year.
Yeah, but like they need to make a decision with him. Stop with the whole
we'll pull you at halftime.
Yeah, stop with the whole he might play and then he just doesn't.
Yeah.
They have given up 77 points in the second half alone. Yeah, the Jaguars don't know what a third and fourth quarter are.
Now they do the Steelers because we're already losing games by that point. Next, Dolphins versus Bears. The Dolphins.
So I'm sorry, Danny. No difference. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
You can't. The Bears just traded their two best players. I don't know. TikTok boy though, he might go crazy. And we're down to our last 4 games of the week, and I think that this one might actually be our game of the week. We got a bird gauntlet. We got Seahawks versus Cardinals. Hold up, I'm blurry. Stop being blurry. I'm still blurry. Seahawks versus Cardinals. Call of Duty just came out. Give me the Seahawks.
Call of Duty just came out. Give me this.
I mean, it came out last week for early access, and Kyler lost. Just the Seahawks have been good. The Cardinals just haven't really showed anything to me this season. Hop came back, and DeAndre Hopkins is still the man. But I'm still gonna take the Seahawks. They've been surprisingly good, and I don't think that I've taken them many times this season, so I'm gonna take them.
Yeah, Danny, I love that trio that Seattle has: Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, the K9, Kenneth Walker III.
K9, I like that K9.
I'm pretty sure that's what they call him because obviously K being his first initial, and he wears number 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants looked really good against the Seahawks. Wow. Scratch that. Reverse it.
Seahawks look really good against the Giants.
Name the movie, Danny. You know what movie that's from? Take that.
No.
Scratch that. Reverse it.
No.
Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I'm not a Willy Wonka fan. Sorry.
I apologize for hitting my mic, by the way, too. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks.
Rams versus Bucks. Who you taking? I want you to go first because you keep stealing my picks.
Rams versus Bucks. This is a very mid game. It feels like.
Yeah, but you got officially divorced Tom. He might go crazy,
or he might be depressed.
I doubt that second one. He's been waiting for this day.
I'm gonna go Tampa.
You're going Tampa. I have the Rams written down. We have our first real difference. I just think Tampa has a lot of injuries. Neither team made a move when they both should have. I just like the Rams better. Cooper Kupp's the man.
I'll have to see how Cooper Kupp feels though.
That's true. He is. He did walkthroughs, but he didn't do full practice today.
Right.
Next game, Titans Chiefs, taking the Chiefs. There's really nothing else. If you even think about the Titans, you're wild.
It's crazy though that these two teams have the same record.
Do they really?
Well, 5-2.
Huh.
The Titans losing to
the
Giants and the Bills.
Yeah, that is also Sunday Night Football.
Both of these teams have lost to the Bills.
Huh. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Kansas City lost to. Oh, the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. To make a long story short, the Chiefs. Tannehill. I'm sorry, not Tannehill. Derrick Henry. I see right now is questionable.
Yeah, he's been battling injuries. Good thing I have.
I missed that. That could be really big because he played a big role in last week's game. I mean, Malik Willis really just he's had. That was his second game, I think, that he's played, and he hasn't really looked that good.
Yeah, Steelers made the right move with Kenny Pickett.
But yeah, I mean, the Chiefs' offense has just been absolutely insane. I mean, Mahomes, Hilaire, Kelsey, Hardman,
Kadarius Toney.
Oh yeah, will we see the Kadarius Toney debut?
We will. We're going to see the Kadarius Toney touchdown, and then he's going to take. We're going to see a Kadarius Toney touchdown. Then he's going to take off his jersey and show his Giants skyline. That's it.
The New York skyline.
Yeah. And last game of the week, we got Ravens at Saints. Wow. I wonder who we're going with here. The one team who's insanely mid or the other team that just traded for an all-pro middle linebacker. Oh, it's a toughie.
All right, Danny. I'm going to take the Ravens, but let me tell you. Part of me wants to take the Saints.
Take the Saints. I dare you.
No, absolutely not.
I triple dog dare you.
No.
I'm taking the Ravens.
You
We're
want
gonna
to know
see
why?
why.
This is the third leg of the Bird Gauntlet. The Saints beat the
Oh,
Falcons. The Saints beat the Seahawks.
and now they're playing the
Oh,
Ravens.
they lost to the Cardinals.
Oh, so it's the fourth leg.
Actually, it's the fourth leg, and I didn't realize. I forgot that they lost to Arizona.
Correct.
Whoops.
Taking the Ravens up. All right,
Yeah, take the Ravens.
that's gonna end the pick'ems. We'll just talk some fantasy and then.
Can we talk about my trade? The trade
Yes,
offer.
yes. Because he hasn't even told me the offer.
Okay.
We're gonna be talking specifically our dynasty league. We have a 10-man dynasty in which I am absolutely positively horrible.
Yeah, Danny, we both are coming off of losses this past week. I believe we're both 3-5.
Yep.
All right. The trade that I was offered, remember, a reminder that it's dynasty. I would be giving up DJ Moore and my 2023 second round pick
Okay.
for Dante Foreman. Or Dante or Donta?
Done. It doesn't matter.
Your 2023 third round pick
Uh-huh.
and somebody else's 2023 third round pick.
That's a horrible deal.
I know DJ Moore these last 2 weeks have been killing it for me.
That's
And
a
he's
horrible deal.
Really one of the bigger pieces, especially now that Robbie Anderson is gone. Now that Christian McCaffrey is gone, DJ Moore really is all Carolina has. Should I decline this live on?
Yes, decline it live.
Here, Dan, you ready?
Yeah. Hits accept by accident. Oh yeah.
Decline trade. Confirm.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to shop Nick Chubb right now because I'm currently 3-5. I have Nick Chubb. My team put up 98 points last week and I lost by 100. The week before I put up 89. The week before I put up 125. The week before I put
Who did you lose to when you only put up 89 points?
Your mom.
Yeah, she is pretty good at fantasy.
She is. This week my starters are kind of rough. Would you like to hear?
Go for it.
Justin Fields. He's currently the QB 11. He's pretty good. Ramondre Stevenson, RB7. AJ Dillon, RB35.
Oh man.
Alec Pierce, wide receiver 49. Amon-Ra St. Brown, man cannot stay healthy. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Isaiah McKenzie. You want to hear who I can't play this week?
Who can you not play this week?
Cordell Patterson. He's on IR. Rashad Penny. He's on IR. Nick Chubb. He's on a bye. Cortland Sutton. He's on a bye. Jahan Dotson. He's not going to play. Wandale Robinson. He's on a bye. George Pickens. He's on a bye.
Oh, no.
And Javonte Williams is on IR. So I'm literally forced to start all these people unless I want to start like Sky Moore or Taysom Hill. But I don't have I don't have another running back to play. I'm playing two running backs, and I'm playing against Geno, David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, Stephon Diggs, Tyler Lockett. Those two of those people that I just named are going to outscore my entire team.
Is this another 80-point effort out of you, Dan?
Probably, dude. I think I'm throwing in the towel for the season. I still have my first. I want to move Nick Chubb, but nobody wants him. Rob offered me a first-round pick of Noah Brown or Tyler Algier. I'm like, you're stupid.
Would you like to hear my starters this week in fantasy? And I've got a question for you about one of these guys.
Yeah.
I'm also looking right now on Sleeper. It says Lazard is questionable, so we'll have to see.
Okay.
Obviously, QB Josh Allen, RBs 1 and 2 Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs.
Uh-huh.
My wide receivers Chris Godwin and DJ Moore. My starting tight end is TJ Hawkinson.
Okay.
My flex position T Higgins and Hunter Renfrow.
Okay.
My kicker is Tyler Bass.
And you don't have.
And I have no defense this week.
You're not even dropping a defense? You're not dropping the Niners defense to go pick up one?
No.
Really? The Niners only have the 10th ranked defense.
That's true. I kind of want to hold on to them for a little bit more, though. They had a really good start to the season. They kind of fell off a little bit starting in week 6, putting up 2, 0, and 3 points. But I think they can come back. The Niners just have a solid defense. I'm debating giving Hilaire a start over Jonathan Taylor.
So what would you need for Jonathan Taylor in a trade?
A first, obviously.
My first?
Probably.
Or do you want like a future first? What if I give you like a first not in this upcoming draft, but the draft next year? Or Mike is currently trying to tank. I have his second. His second is going to be basically a first because it's going to be the first pick in the second round.
Mike is really confusing because Mike is like, yeah, I'm selling, but I won't trade some of my most sellable players.
Because it's dynasty, so he's keeping his young guys. But he's like, yo, I have running backs, but like I'm not going to trade you Najee or Dameon Pierce or whatever his other one is.
Saquon.
Or Travis Etienne. He's like,
Yeah,
those are
only RBs I won't trade are Saquon, Etienne, and Pierce.
Which I'm like, dog. Those are the guys that people are gonna want.
I would trade a good amount for Saquon.
So would I. What do you want for JT though?
It would probably have to be a first this year. We're both 3 and 5, dude.
Yeah, I got Nick Chubb.
I would consider that to be his replacement. Let me look at your team.
Currently the running back 3. He's on his bye, so you won't have to worry about that after this week. Or I would talk to you about T. Higgins. Probably not for Nick Chubb because he's not Jonathan Taylor.
I would maybe look to see what you would also take for Dotson.
Jahan?
Mm-hmm.
We can talk.
My guy out of Penn State.
We can talk. I'm hoping on the next episode we'll be able to announce a trade. But that I have to go get dinner.
Okay.
I'm hankering for some Chipotle right now. But we'll call it.
That sounds so good. I've been kind of craving that lately.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna post this on YouTube. Gonna cut it up. Thank you specifically, Jason, for being here like the whole time. Whoever else popped out for a time or two.
Who was it? Y'all. I hate the NFL.
I hate the NFL. Yeah, he popped out for a little bit. But yeah, no, I really appreciate that. We will be back. We're probably gonna do more live shows. I hope you guys like the little overlay that I made. And the little like him report video. That was cool. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Everything on the screen, those are Twitter handles. If you're on audio platforms, our Twitter handles will be in the description. You can hit us up. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you want us to fix or want us to change. Anything. If you got questions that you want us to answer, hit us.
We love you too, Jason.
Jason's such a king. I love Jason. If you're on audio platforms, please rate us 5 stars. Share us with a friend. Just be like, hey, these guys are kind of cool, or this guy said something stupid, or this guy named Danny is kind of an idiot.
Not kind of, is like a really big idiot.
Whatever. Sharing, liking, subscribing, commenting, just anything helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate all the love and support that we get. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week. Are you free Friday? We'll see you soon.
Right. Bye, guys.